So this is the Eyetwitch deck that we played on Monday. Wait, did we play this on Monday? I think we did. I think we played a league with this on Monday. And I have decided to be a little bit harder on the green splash. A lot of people have been like, Spike, let's splash Malevolent Rumble, let's splash Rumble. I think Rumble's fine. But I think the card I'm a little bit more interested in is Wight of the Reliquary. Oh, maybe we didn't play this Monday. So we played a different Golgari Wight of the Reliquary deck that we trophied with on Monday. I know we played Eyetwitch recently, but I don't think it was Monday. Let's see. So the last time we played this deck, or last time we played a white deck, I had this like Court of Calling, Green Sun Zenith, Wight of the Reliquary deck, and I was actually liking the white a really good bit. Alongside Badgermal Cub, alongside Nantuko. I'm interested in kind of continuing to explore this green build, but I think undeniably Wight just seems so awesome in the Eyetwitch Crypt of Agadeem deck. For me, this deck is really, really in on Crypt of Agadeem. One nice thing about playing Wight is you can, I think, just kind of comfortably play 3 copies and you can tutor them up more often with Wight. You don't want to be all in on this, but it does let you play less tap lands. You have to play more Troll of Khazad-dms, I think, for black card count for the Crypt of Agadeems. And we're also playing, now more fetches, more fetchables, so that we can splash our green cards more consistently, which was one issue with wanting to splash the 2-mana green card in the past, is you basically lose Boggart Trawler as a land. If you're going to splash the green 2-drop. So I think Wight is just so good. And then another thing is, like, when you're playing Stitcher Supplier and you're playing Overlord with Balemurk, Wight is really big, really fast, which is really enviable. We're also playing a Spymaster's Vault in this build as a utility tutor target you can get off the Wight. If I'm going to splash green, what about Dina's Guidance? I think this card is kind of unplayable. It's not too far off, but I think that this deck has a little bit of a speed issue as is, and already has like a really good late game. So playing this kind of slow, don't impact the board card is kind of tough. I am liking the sideboard a lot. I think we can just get in there. Pretty borderline hands. We can go turn 1. I do like having the Crypt of Agadeem, although it's weird that if we go Crypt turn 1, we're not surveilling. I feel like having Crypt plus Overlord is just so good, plus Tower. I think I'm actually going to keep this. And then hope we have a good mill. With Mulligan on the draw. I have a pet deck I'm working on. Recently started Blue-Green Eldrazi abusing Portent of Calamity, Sequencing, and Yggdrasil. Would you mind giving me your thoughts? I think Yggdrasil is pretty unplayable. Like, even in like these Through the Breach decks, I haven't liked it very much. You can go to my Moxfield, moxfield.com/user/SpiringSpike. We had a Portent of Calamity Mind into Matter deck that was built around the double Expel stuff. Turn 1 Vexing Bubble, so turning off my Flare of Malice. I'm not sure what Urza Saga... I mean, it could be Titan, I guess. Just who's drawn their Vexing Bubble, all natural. Love to find an Eyetwitch. Could kill the Urza Saga next turn. We did find Eyetwitch. There's also a white. I think gotta take the Eyetwitch here. Interesting. Also interesting. So maybe another interesting card drawn. So I could go maybe just play Eyetwitch, play Wight of the Reliquary, let them untap. I could go Eyetwitch and sack Eyetwitch to Phyrexian Tower, and I could cast the Origin of Metalbending on the Urza Saga. I feel like I think I'm just gonna go cast Wight, cast Eyetwitch. Togo, thanks for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. In testing, I was able to put 5 Ulamog on the field thanks to Yggdrasil. That's not the problem with Yggdrasil. The problem with Yggdrasil is the inconsistency of the card. Yggdrasil is a card that is just going to sit and play and do nothing for, I think, 2 long periods of time. We have the Brood Scale. Can't flare because we've got the they got the Vexing Bauble out there. Okay, dead. Chose wrong. I do think this is a matchup where I want the Culling Rituals against Brood-Scale. I think I'm interested in the Break the Ice. Maybe not the full 3. I'm gonna cut the Cling to Dust. Bone Shards is like sorcery speed removal is a little bit tough. I think I'm gonna go down an Emperor of Bones. 2 Culling Ritual. Can you explain Eyetwitch strategy in the deck? I didn't follow the strategy. So Eyetwitch, at kind of a simple level, is a looter in black in your Archon of Cruelty Reanimator deck. You can sack it to tower and use it to reanimate your Archon of Cruelties. I do play a lot of Graveyard Hate. I wonder maybe if can I cut the Persists? Maybe go down like 1 Archon, 2 Persists. Maybe I will play the Bone Shards. And then in addition to that, you have a utility package of lessons you can recur. This is a card we've been testing a lot of. It's been testing well. I would recommend it. Let's try this. 2 Culling Rituals, 2 Persist, 3 Archons. Again, Archon's pretty hard castable in the deck. Okay, let's keep the 7. It's going to lead on Overgrown Tomb, Thoughtseize. So I have some Culling Rituals in the deck and an Eyetwitch that could deal with the Grafdigger's Cage. I think I'm a little bit interested in taking the Ancient Sturians and then taking the Rumble and just leaving them with this 1-lander. Could be a little bit risky, could pay off big. The Druid Emrakul doesn't get a lot better than that. I clicked the reveal off too late. But their hand is Emrakul, Brood-Scale, K-Command, and Fleshraker. Okay, so it looks like our line has paid off. Let's play an Overlord. Find a Wight of the Reliquary, which is good to have a sack outlet for the Eyetwitch, I guess. Also, notably, we boarded down on Persist, and the Grafdigger's Cage doesn't stop Emperor of Bones if we find Emperor of Bones. Could also use Eyetwitch to kill the Grafdigger's Cage if we wanted to. So I think I will go and grab the Origin of Metalbending here. And then I think I'm going to grab Phyrexian Tower. And then I'm going to go Impending Overlord and probably just buy back the Eyetwitch. Obviously, you know, my opponent's, you know, stumbling super hard. It's going to be a very difficult game to lose. Maybe the tower's not so good. I could have got Crypt. They find a Needle, they find a Cavern, they find a Grove, they find a Saga. Probably going to be grabbing a land here. They do choose Urza Saga as the card off the Rumble. We draw another Crypt of Agadeem for turn. Seems like I kind of just want to cast Decorum Dissertation. Not the most powerful. Okay, play another Crypt tap. The Troll of Khazad-dm is going to be mana positive next turn. I think we can hardcast the Overlord, not 100% sure. Or sorry, the Archon. We also have Flare up if we need it. My opponent plays the Commercial District instead of the Urza Saga. A little bit surprising. Maybe that's because I have the Origin of Metalbending still in the hand. They sack the Spawn token. Then they play Brood-Scale. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw 2 more cards. If you're willing to sack last turn, I guess you technically could pass Archon. I didn't think I had enough mana. So if my opponent does not chump walk the white, they die. Have I done Eyetwitch Nightmare off stream? I haven't put a Nightmare in this deck, but like I just don't know like what you would cut for Nightmare, nor do I really think it would be like a particularly good addition. Nightmare is like okay, but I think that I've been really like you would probably be down on the Overlord Archon stuff, although like 4 Overlord feels so mandatory to me, so you would be like a non-Archon build, and Archon seems so important to like this deck's plan. What do you think about Eyetwitch discard White Bloodghast with White? I love discarding Bloodghast. I hate any time I can't do that, and we don't have enough. That's the only way we could discard Bloodghast, right? And I am always so unhappy when I have to spend 2 mana to put Bloodghast from my hand in play. It feels like a losing play almost every single time. Thoughts on Mardu Energy Lessons? I think that the Eyetwitch plan is good in this Crypt of Agadeem Reanimator deck, and I'm not exactly convinced it's good in any other strategy. It's not. I know a lot of people have been trying to jam Eyetwitch in like a lot of different stuff, but for me, it's mostly this deck and kind of end of list. Gonna take the good card. You don't want third Culling Ritual post board. Culling Ritual's not that good on that many boards. I think. I don't think I want 3. No. Like look at Culling Ritual against my opponent's hand. It's not really doing very much. It misses a lot of cards in their deck. Is Birthing Ritual too bad a card in this deck? I don't know. A Birthing Ritual is kind of interesting. It feels like you would probably need to be again off the Archon of Cruelty plan. Although I guess you could, if you had a 4, you could go Overlord into Troll into Archon. Oh no, Archon's 8. So you'd probably be off the Overlord stuff, but I mean, Birthing Ritual is really good with a lot of cards in our deck for sure. What did they choose? They chose Cavern of Souls. Interesting. So let's see what we mill over with the Supplier. We milled over no creatures off the first mill triggers, which is not so good. Then we milled over just a Overlord of the Balemurk. So I think I'm just going to go Thoughtseize the Unholy Heat. Oh my gosh, they have 6 types already. 3, 4, 5. Plus 6 is 11. Okay, I gotta take the Emrakul. Even though the Emperor is pretty good against my... Or the Heat is so good against my Emperor of Bones. They draw Saga and then they play Saga. It's not really very ideal for me either. Play Emperor, remove a type. Maybe that was the plan. Still pretty scary. Here we get to persist the Overlord. Which is going to probably die to the Unholy Heat, but we're going to get a creature back. And I think I should get Wight of the Reliquary, albeit slow. It can get me Crypt of Agadeems maybe to unlock the Archons in my hand. It's also gigantic, although maybe they're going to have like a lantern. So it is Cavern of Souls, 2 mystery cards after they draw. Thanks Acidic for the 46. Appreciate you. Big draw step. Not great, I guess. Is out of Unholy Heat range. It's an 8/8. Although think they could get a lantern here a lot of the time. They should be they might get Grafdigger's Cage, like they may not be on lantern. They should be. So they're floating mana, which means that they have Emrakul. They get Blade instead, so this means they have Brood Scale. So I can flare, sacking my Wight of the Reliquary. Thankfully, they sack their Vexing Bauble. Don't know either card in their hand. If we draw an untap land, I could maybe go Emperor of Bones, my Wight of the Reliquary, and then use the Wight of the Reliquary to sack the Emperor of Bones to get a Crypt of Agadeem to play Archon next turn. Could also maybe find Eyetwitch, sack it to Tower, discard Archon, and then if we draw a land, we can go Emperor. Okay, we just drew regular land. So I think I am going to go for this goofy line. We also get to get in for like a good bit of damage if they don't chump block with the spawn token. Feels like a cube line. So I attack for 8. They do block, which also grows their construct to 4/4. 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can cast Emrakul still if they find an Emrakul. Although I'm actually not doing the worst against Emrakul. So Crypt of Agadeem in play. It is I have 7 black creatures in the yard. Wait, they have something? They have Besage You. No. Okay, pretty good last card for my opponent to have, huh? So now I'm on a 2-turn clock against the Construct and they're top decking. Feels bad because we could have played around Besage You a little bit, a lot better. And then we unceremoniously draw Basic Swamp and lose. Dang. No Crypt as a payoff. No Persistent hand. Let's mulligan. I'm going to keep this one. Probably putting back the Troll. Right, Grazer's Saga turn 1. May need some help off the Persist. Being on the draw against Titan. We milled a Troll and we milled an Emperor. So probably just going to play Wight next turn, assuming all is equal. They've got a Gardens to be somewhat likely to kill me on turn 3. Well, can never hate seeing that. They get an amulet, and they are missing the requisite resources to kill me here. They play a Woodland and they play a Grazer. They only have 2 cards in their hand. They have a Misty Rainforest. So they copy next turn, fetch tap lands. Okay, I have a 4. I don't think they know this is a 4/4. Okay. So I think I am interested in thinning the deck a little bit. So let's attack. My Wight is a 5/5. They've got a few chump blockers for me. Let's see if we can get lucky and mill an Archon. If not, we will persist something else. We did mill a Wight of the Reliquary. I'm gonna get a Crypt of Agadeem. It's pretty online at the moment. Well, I guess we're gonna shrink it with the persist. Let's go. Is persisting Wight? I guess persisting Wight is a little bit better than persisting Troll. When is Marvel Void coming out? It is out already. Posted it yesterday. We did mill over a Cling to Dust. Interesting. I guess they're playing Misty Rainforest. Do they not have a Surveil land in the deck? Why are they playing Misty if they are only on Forest as fetchables? Is it for Aftermath Analyst? Yeah, I was thinking we could persist Stitcher next turn. If we draw a land, we can. I guess we won't be able to really do much with Emperor if we go for the persist line. Might be in hand. I guess it could be, yeah. Titania. They play Titania now? So they play an Aftermath Analyst. They mill a Saga Rainforest. Or sorry, they mill Beseiju, Vestige, Rumble. Yeah, maybe it's just there for Analyst. Yeah, maybe Ice Steel too. Yeah, it feels like I would be playing a Surreal land. Titania something. I guess I haven't seen the Titania attack, huh? So it seems like my opponent's last card is a bounce land that will possibly let them. And I don't really know why they're not copying the Amulet first. But this will let them put a Saga, a Misty Rainforest, a Vestige, and a Beseiju into play. Looks like they just want to be able to block sack, which is why they didn't copy. Okay, I drew Archon of Cruelty. If I had a bounce land in my deck, I could probably cast it. Which I don't have a bounce land. Next draft include Rot Farm? Yeah, maybe. Don't love the extra tap lands. I might just sack a Wight main phase. It's so weird. I think I'm gonna do something kind of. No, I'll just go. I'll persist a Supplier. Should we Vestige for spots like this if we had one could Archon? Yeah, or a bounce land would also let us Archon in this spot. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go persist the Overlord here. And then just accept that we're gonna lose a top deck Titan if they have it. I think I'll pick up the Supplier to sack to a Wight this turn. Yeah, not playing Bog. It's just like the number of tap lands is so high already, but maybe you should be playing Bog. Thanks. Renegade Egg with the 14 months and Elevation with the 53. Thank you. Oh, they fetch another Forest to Thin. Let's see what they top deck. Don't like to see that. All right, I think I'm done. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll see what the board looks like when I'm back. They got a Teleria West and a Growth Chamber. They didn't go for Mirror Pool. And then they're having a little think. Glad they banned Lotus Field. Glad they banned Lotus Field. Wow, they don't even transmute the T-West. What happened? What happened while I was in the bathroom? They didn't even transmute the T-West. It kind of reminds me, like the Titan stuff, it reminds me a lot of Legacy Miracles back in the day. I remember I was a Legacy Miracles player and I was so upset. I think I'm actually gonna sack this. This lets me activate Emperor Bones in combat. I was so upset that they banned Sensei Stop. And like a big part of the reason why they cited banning Sensei's top was that games went super duper long while top was legal. And I'm like, this is the fault of all of these slow Miracles players. They've ruined it. They've ruined it for me. But you know, some people are gonna play slow sometimes. People are gonna play slow sometimes, and you know, banning kind of around that I think is an unfortunate necessity sometimes. Okay, so we can go play second Archon of Cruelty, sack first Archon of Cruelty to Phyrexian Tower, play Emperor of Bones, Emperor of the Archon, attack for a bunch of extra, not, although these are already very lethal. So somehow we won this. So I think I'm gonna bring in the Break the Ices. I'm gonna cut the Bone Shards. I haven't really been loving the Cling to Dust against Titan. Maybe down an Overlord at a Cling. Have you considered adding a load-bearing Hunt for Specimens? Can read that one. One Culling could be okay. I think these like 4 mana sorcery speed answers to Amulet are never a good plan. Okay, so this is one of the learn cards. With this token dies, you gain 1 life. Learn. It's possible that this card is better than Poet's Quill, since Poet's Quill is mostly good when you have a big creature. Oh, Poet's Quill is probably better with Wight of the Reliquary, but this does block Ragavan, which is something. Not, I think for the most part, like I'm really happy just like recurring Eyetwitch with Overlord. I never really feel like I am needing more learn effects. You have a lot of, you access Eyetwitch a lot, and you can recur it too. I don't like cutting Overlord in spots because it enables a lot of our broken draws. Instead, I want to cut a slower card like Wight. I feel like Wight is faster than Overlord. It attacks for more. It assembles our Crypt of Agadeems. I think Wight is a faster card here than Overlord. Brutal tap Spymaster's Vault, but I think we do need to keep, since we have Eyetwitch plus Sack Outlet plus Archon. Like, this is kind of the exact sort of hand you want to see against Amulet, just with 1 more land. Well, let's hope this Flare is good. So one thing I like to do if I want my opponent to not play around removal on their Amulet turns is to just F6 and hover over the turn off auto yields button. So it seems like I'm F6'd, which I am. But then I turn it off after they cast the Titan. And you just always have enough time to turn it off while the Titan trigger resolves. So they Spelunk, which is going to be -1 mana for them, which... Oh, sorry, plus 1 mana because of the double amulet. So it could maybe be Green Sun for Titan. Probably just always play the Splunking here no matter what. Also has Cultivator Colossus mana. Nobody's ever beat that card before. Vexing Bubbles are 20 tickets. Yeah, it's I don't know. I definitely don't love the dynamic we've got there. All right, so in response to these triggers, we're going to Edict, I think. I guess I can Edict in response to the Mirror Pool. Seems probably a little bit better, maybe. Speaking of Vexing Bobble, if they just somehow go Vexing Bobble first with the Mirror Pool up, we lose. So Phyrexian Tower would be great. I could put 2 Archons of Cruelty into play. Still have 2 amulets in play and 6 cards in hand. Good that we got the mirror pool. Plays an Urza Saga. Definitely happy to see that, I guess. Do you think Squirrel Girl will be only good with the combo you outlined? Or Rites of Iltimok? Okay, well, Rites of Iltimok I don't think is close to being a playable modern card. I think that Squirrel Girl can be good as, like, I don't think you necessarily need the combo. Like, if you're going to be playing one of the, like, Badger Mole, Green Sun, Aurora Boroid targets decks, or maybe in fight rigging, like, it could be a good just value tutor target. And there's also the combo that exists with it too that I'm interested in. But I would think that Growing Rights is, like, just not probably a card you should be playing. Although I'll say that I've definitely had some biases against older. I've had some biases against older cards that were, like, not very playable before, and, like, Badger Mole is definitely a card that, like, makes you need to reevaluate a lot of stuff. Maybe Growing Rights is better than I think it is. It flips on your instep. Flips on your instep. I agree, seems very fun. So they escape shift into double Simic Growth Chamber. So this maybe means they're gonna, like, Green Sun for Cultivator Colossus. Did they cover the new Sorin combo in the video? No, what's the new Sorin combo? At least the Colossus is not alive. After 30 matches on Trudge, the best cyber card I found for Tron Living End is Karn Liberated. Karn Liberated is not good against Living End, so I don't know how you reached that conclusion. I feel like the Tron matchup is also just kind of fine. Turn 2 flip Sorin. Alright, I don't know how this happened. Turn 3 Sorin put Sauron into what the fuck? But is it? It's actually with something with Sauron? There is a modern legal Sauron. I don't know which Sauron is not modern legal. So their idea behind playing Karn is that Living End boards an inevitable betrayal against Trudge, which I haven't really figured out what the best plan is. You stop reading the comment in the middle, and I just want to clarify, Cure Cancer is a line of text on the card. How could that possibly be true? How could that I mean, I guess it's 2026. These cards can say anything, huh? I guess we're probably playing against Mill, which is a little scary. Do you think the Marvel set will actually change the modern meta? Well, it'll change it in the sense that there will be some somewhat playable cards, but I don't think it'll be a big factor. So the good news is I have a Crypt of Agadeem in my hand. Is Expedition Tidecaller good in Mill? I've seen a lot of people playing it today. I guess I'm just gonna search main phase. I actually don't know for sure if I have another land there. Oh, this Sauron. I thought we were talking about Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Okay, so this is not a modern legal card. And I can see that you searched for I see to find this card you searched Cancer. And okay. I don't understand. Oh, this gets put into play by 3 mana Sauron. And then you I don't want to know anymore. So I have 17 black creatures in my graveyard here. So it's turn 3, and I guess we get to make 17 mana. Let's start by casting Archon of Cruelty. If they have Surgical, I don't want them to be able to use it. Now, one problem is I'm not going to be able to use Overlord, right? Because I have to spend the mana in combat, and I won't be able to do that. Dang, I'm down to 10 cards. This will put me down to 9 cards. So I guess we just go cast Troll, cast Eyetwitch, and hope we have enough mana value left in our deck to tank Atashas. I've seen most of my Trolls and most of my Archons, so I think I don't. Yeah, don't. Dang. Yeah, this whole time, the secret to curing cancer was just gaining 3 life, huh? Okay, so I'm going to bring in May. I might just run this at 63. Don't think I care to play Culling Ritual. No, this is not early access. Marvel cards will not. We won't be playing them till Tuesday. Yoshi with the Twitch Prime, thank you. You're curing cancer in humans, so that's a 2/2 at most. Well, I would think that typically the idea of curing cancer is like for everybody, right? Cut Overlords. Yeah, I could see that. Right, got some of our best cards. I think I found out yesterday the Spider-Man cards are modded. Not nice. Are they like just on like the Daybreak accounts, or are they on every account? I haven't seen anybody use them. Tricky hand. I am at work right now. My job is medical research for curing cancer. Almost as important as Twitch streaming. I can confirm it takes a lot more than 3 life. I'm glad we got that far. Keep going. Arena turned the open path cards into styles. How is Mono doing it? I think that both just are going to exist on Magic Online, is my understanding. Awesome. We milled an Archon. That's what I was hoping to see. Interesting that they would play a second creature into Overlord Archon. So did they top deck Fatal Push? Did they top deck Surgical? I guess they just want to play all their guys. Maybe. I mean, I guess they could still have Surgical, which would suck. Is Fleam going to be a unique thing you can't get anymore? Yeah, Fleam stocks seem to be rising to the... they seem to be rising to the top. I don't know that Magic Online can even handle the rising cost of Fleams. Okay, so this will put them down to 3. I guess I'll leave my 4-power creature in play with a flare to kill next turn. Yeah, I miss that Wondrous Wasp works with Shadow, Death Shadow, and Wondrous Wasp is a card that I think is just kind of playable even without that interaction. So it's definitely interesting to me. Typically, I don't board above 63. Maybe I will play a Culling Ritual over an Overlord or a Supplier. Maybe I'll play 2, just 3 of each. Why not flare off the Archon? Oh, right. I just kind of forgot you could sack Archon to flare. It doesn't come up that often. But yeah. Persist is kind of the best card in the matchup for us, right? I guess I Thoughtseize first, although I don't know if I want them to Archive Trap or not. It'd be better if they went Archive Trap and Surgical. Can't beat Bridge, so... Or, I guess maybe May and Overlord triggers could. They play another Crab. Well, let's see if they just mill another Archon for me. Could also play Wight and just play Gigantic Wight. They did mill another Archon. So let's see. They just drew a Crab, so we're going to be able to persist Archon here on turn 2. It's really nice of them. Unless they milled all my fetchables. Yeah, the Wasp wants to be a 13/13 the entire time it's in play. Oh, that's right. I have the naturalize in the sideboard. Of course. Still think we take the bridge. All right, they take a Tidecaller. I have 40 cards in my deck. Now I've got a good bit less. They play a Delta. Do I have another Archon in the yard yet? Looks like not yet. Did he find a Drown? They play the Watergrave untapped, so it seems like their one mystery card is Drown in the lock. So I guess I'll remember I can Flare of Malice now. Yeah, I think I'm not going to overthink anything. They're top decking. Oh, there's another Archon up top, I see. I couldn't see it before, now I do. Okay. 2 and 1. I don't hate this hand. I think I'm gonna mulligan because it's 1 line. We don't have an Archon to discard. Is it super duper far off? Let's keep this one. Let's put back the Bone Shards. Maybe we'll just play the Crypt tap turn 1. Wait for things to develop a bit. Planes go. Okay, I like drawing a Stitcher Supplier. I think I want a Swamp Cycle. Let's see if we can get a little lucky on our Stitcher Supplier mills. Isn't she blue white pitches to force its subtlety? That's true. It does do that. I don't usually love that, like, you know, if that's like all she's doing, you know what I mean? Okay, we got 4 swamps in the deck for this matchup. Everybody's favorite matchup. How has Troll been here? I think I've liked the Troll. We're playing 3. I could see playing 2 or 4 instead. I'm not like locked in. Also, we do swamp for turn, which stinks. I'm not locked in that 4 is like the correct number for sure. But it definitely seems fine. So maybe they're gonna path me after I surveil. Gonna graveyard the Cling for some value, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll play the Crypt this turn. This does mean if they have path, they can like, yeah, they can do this. But they could do this anyways. So not exactly expecting my Crypt to live. But if it does live, we're pretty happy. At least that's something more for me to flare. So Decorum Dissertation is going to be really good if they don't have a counterspell. Mana Tithe would be a lot of psychic damage here. Nice. So I keep hearing this Boros deck doesn't do anything. Thoughts? It does stuff. I think the Ponza deck is pretty good. It's definitely one if you're playing like 5 or 6 basics you kind of laugh at, and if you're playing less than that, you know, it's it can be pretty strong. I would say, you know, if a deck is winning as much as this Boros deck is winning, and people continue to do really well with it, I would mostly like ignore almost anyone ever who says, "Oh, this deck does nothing." I think people who just totally dismiss things as being unplayable or bad are usually not worth. It's usually not worth spending a lot of time on people who are just totally think something sucks even though it's winning. Am I going to persist this Overlord of the Balemurk? I think the answer is yes. I might be milling myself out. Grab Emperor. Yeah, out of fetchables, I still have, I think, the full 4 Phyrexian Towers in the deck, plus a couple Crypt of Agadeems. So I'm down to 8. Then I'm going to be down to 6 after I dissertate again. They have 2 cards in their hand. They also have a Field of Ruin up. We don't have an Overlord in our graveyard. Or we do have an Overlord. We don't have an Archon. What do you think as Endurance as sideboard tech against this deck? Endurance is good against the deck I'm playing right now. Yes. If you have them, you should play them. I don't necessarily think our deck is so popular that you need to like commit a lot to playing a bunch of answers to it. I think I'm going to exile the Wight now, so if my opponent wants to kill the Emperor, they kind of have to do it before I untap. Oh, I lagged through combat there, I guess. See how that hurts us. I think all 4 Archons are still in the deck too. Legend of Roku. Not one that they always play, right? But they have it here. They have another Phantom. They've got a Path to Exile. Oh, against the Ponza deck? Endurance is good against Ponza. I don't know. Yeah, it's good against them. I have no more green sources in the deck. Ugh. Down to 4 life. I don't think I can cobble together a win at this point. Let's go to game 2. Let's see. So I think I want to cut all of my removal. Maybe I want to keep in like a flare for flipped Legend of Roku. Solitude. 1 or 0. I can play some Break the Ice to try to snipe Field of Ruins. That happens somewhat often. May is also, I think May's kind of fine against them. I think I'll play 2 May, 1 Break the Ice. It's crazy how every card draw spot modern is just so much worse than the Wandering Rod. Such a broken card. Yep. I really like that, in modern right now you get to choose the best card advantage engine, and like they're kind of like always ebbing and flowing with each other. I was a little bit worried that Quantum Riddler would take over as the de facto best. Maybe Quantum Riddler is still the best, but it's not so good that you have to always play it, and it's got some pretty big deck building requirements. Where the Rings deck building requirements were, can you cast a 4-drop? Yeah, I do think Beanstalk better than Ring. Okay, let's keep our 7. So I think I'm going to be wanting to go turn 1 Stitcher Supplier. If my opponent has Graveyard Hate, it's probably Rest in Peace, and I could just maybe ignore it by turn 2 Persisting on the play. And then maybe I can go Crypt of Agadeem tapped plus Thoughtseize on turn 2 if I miss on the Supplier. You mill a Wight of the Reliquary and a Swamp. Milling a Swamp is not so good. Milling the Wight is kind of interesting. I could possibly persist it. They play a Sunken Citadel on red. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize this turn. So they do have the Rest in Peace, which we'll take, and then they have a bunch of Cleansing Wildfires. Don't think we're ever going to get real utility. I think I'll just play this and keep it on top. Just keep it in the deck because they're going to shuffle it away. You don't think Fing Fing Foom is playable? No, it's just I'm just never gonna tap out for Fing Fing Foom and hope. Wait, I milled my other swamp too. Wait, do I not have 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there. Dang. Four basics, all of them gone by turn 3. There's Archon of Cruelty. I think I'm gonna bank on hitting any creature off the Wight tap. Oh, I could have played Spymaster as well, but then they don't yeah, make this block. I think incentivizing them to make the block is fine. So my opponent has more of the burn spells in the deck. Or sorry, not burn spells. Land destruction spells. So I guess I'll get Tower. And then let's go Spymaster's Vault. I already have an Archon in the yard. I'm 1 mana short of persisting. I guess I'll just discard a fetch. Oh, and another fetch. Might have been better to try to prioritize like fetching the Crypt of Agadeem at instant speed so I could get an activation. Yeah, Vault pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna persist Archon. I guess attacking first is good. They're not gonna chump. If they do chump, it's crazy. Feels a little crazy. Love drawing this. Would you ever put a basic in the sideboard or just play Trudge all day? I've played some basics in sideboards, yes, and I like playing Trudge. I'd play Trudge all day. Alright, so I think I'm going to discard this Archon, and I'll put a Crypt in play this turn. It's my last Crypt. Interesting they targeted the Archon. So I guess they're just going to also kill my Crypt, but this means that I can play the Wight, and I can Thoughtseize their last card maybe. Somehow doing pretty good despite them having like the best possible hand last turn. Play a 6/6. Oh, fuck. Well, they're still top decking. I attack for 2. I guess it's a problem that Eyetwitch can't get a disenchant against Rest in Peace because you don't get the dice trigger. Am I really going to bring in Culling Ritual? I don't know. I'm not going to play around the top deck Wrath. Just going to hope to win this next turn. Yeah, can just attack. It's funny that like they had like the Stone Rains online by turn 3. They had like the perfect hand after I reanimated. They had the top deck Rest in Peace, but they just lost to like a couple 2/2s and a 1/1. So I could play Culling Ritual. How often is Rip really coming up? They have at least 2 in their deck, and it's really, really good against us. I could board in. I think I'm gonna board in Origin of Metalbending and 1 Culling Ritual. I think this Cling to Dust is also. I don't think the game's like. I don't think we have enough mana in the late game to use it. Do we get death triggers on Wrath for 2? I think the answer is no. Seems hard to cast a 4-drop. Maybe. Seems hard to beat a Rest in Peace too. No consideration for Witherbloom Charm. You think I didn't consider Witherbloom Charm? Come on. Come on. What would you cut for Witherbloom Charm? There's not a card I would cut for it. You gotta be really in on Crypt of Agadeem. It's tough to like just play non-creatures in the deck. I'm actually gonna keep this. I like not having a basic. I like having double Thoughtseize. We're a 24 mana source, or it's 24 land deck on the draw. I think we can hope to draw land. Okay, not a land, but probably the best spell. Why I boarded Origin of Lesson rather than keeping us Lesson? Because if they have Rest in Peace in play, I can't learn for it because the Eyetwitch doesn't die. Too immortal. I'm gonna wait a turn on the Thoughtseize. Don't really care about the 2 cards we know about. I guess I might Thoughtseize myself next turn. Don't love doing that. It's nice to have not drawn or milled over a bunch of basics this game. So I think I'm going to Thoughtseize the Legend of Roku and play Supplier here. Do not mill basics. Okay, thank you. I milled an Archon. Good Citrus Supplier. Good. Although they do have an Erode in their hand for the Archon Persist here. I think we'll still Persist, especially with second Persist in our hand. Okay, good Citrus Supplier. Although we did build an Overgrown Tomb. That's our last Overgrown Tomb. We have 2 black-green Surveils, but kind of even tough to use those at all against the Demolition Field. So they're going to discard the Phantom, and then they're going to path my Archon. We do have 2 basics left in the deck. Erode. They choose not to Erode. I guess they have like Wrath of God in their deck they want to be able to draw into. I feel like I guess they didn't have the mana to cast Legend of Roku, so that might be a good enough reason to have waited there. So I'm going to go to attackers. They are going to Erode my Archon. 1 swamp left in the deck after this. Attack for 1. I think I'm just going to play May. If you look at our deck list, you'll probably see why we're not playing a basic forest. We're very, very light on the green splash. Okay, they name red. Oh, Erode destroys. I'm looking at my graveyard like, wait, how is there Archon? Sorry. When I was playing Magic the Gathering, this used to be Path to Exile. Doesn't seem like there's much point in playing the Mortuary, just like they just use the Demolition Field here. Well, their last card was Legend of Roku. Yeah, sorry, I just forgot this destroys. All right, we're 3-1. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Liking the deck a lot. On the play against Kihira, maybe Ponza again, but I'm gonna keep. Would maybe I guess I'd keep in the blind most of the time here, but definitely against Kihira. Okay, it's control. Woohoo! Control! Alright, take the Tef. They keep a card on top. They kept it on top pretty fast, too. GG's Hipshish. Learning Tairamoto is not fun. Yeah, I hear ya. Alright, I'm guessing I'm going to take another one, and if their top card is a Scepter, we'll just lose. They got Thoughtseize bugged. So not a Scepter, probably. It was Thundering Falls? They kept Thundering Falls on top? Is that correct? I don't know. Let's go impending this Overlord, since we know they've got some prismatic endings over there. We mill over Troll, Eyetwitch X2. think I'm just gonna take the troll because I want to be leaving these creatures in the graveyard pretty bad with my double crypt in play. Interesting. Yeah, so I think I just want to impending again. Maybe hardcast Archon next turn. Yeah, I think we just get another troll. Wish I had a Phyrexian Tower. I think we'll just graveyard this to grow the crypts, and then next turn we can go get a basic forest, or sorry, basic swamp, and then we can hardcast Archon of Cruelty next turn. Maybe also persist Overlord. Is Abrupt Decay bad right now? It's kind of hard to play Abrupt Decay over Witherbloom Charm, but I do think there's some reasons. No! Hmm. I guess it was wrong to just put myself dead to this. Hard to not take the Teferis, but I could see it just being wrong to be like, I'm dead if my opponent draws a Scepter. A lot of times they play like literally one Scepter. Hard to say how many they had. Yeah, the Teferi wasn't that annoying. We are really weak to Scepter Chant too, still, this game. Fjork with the 64 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Put it on 61. Hard to mulligan against control. Not a very exciting hand, though. Probably grab Surveilland off the troll this turn. I can go May into Overlord Surveilland. Punished? Maybe it is best to get Overlord down this turn. I could see wanting to aggressively do it and get the flip. I'll take Emperor Bones. We milled another Overlord also. Spike, you took my like Boros build. Is it Boros Energy? I'm not super interested, I guess. Back to back rest in peace opponents. You know, for a long time, people would ask me, Spike, how do your decks beat rest in peace? And I'd say it doesn't matter. Nobody plays rest in peace. But the Ponza deck and control, they're bringing it back some. Oh, I need 3 Boseiju in my deck. If you said it was interesting, Boros Synergy, well, I would just say what's interesting about it, you know. Although I don't have a lot else going on, I guess. Maybe Emperor's better here than the Wight. I don't know. I can also with the Wight I can turn Supplier into just a rampant growth. I think I'll send just May at Teferi. Then if they kill the May, I can sack it. Just getting a tapped Swamp here. Don't need to flare the Teferi. It's not doing so much this turn. Maybe next turn we can. Yeah, World with Gorias, it's hard not to put Rips in when running Wight. I think I agree. Rest in Peace is pretty good right now. They keep a card on top. Watch the Marvel video. Which deck am I most excited to start with? I feel like I'm probably going to start with Moon Mist and get it out of my system. I don't know. There's a lot to do. I'm going to definitely have a Loki deck soon. I definitely play Squirrel Girl and some of like the green pile soon. We'll play Ruby Control with the new Sweeper Land Destruction spell pretty fast. So let me see if this resolves. Are there any competitive Samwise Cat combo decks right now? I've seen some people say that they like Eyetwitch in the Samwise deck. I do think it's probably the best shell to play like Birthing Ritual Eyetwitch if you really like Eyetwitch. So my opponent's not like completely flooded. I think I'm gonna wait on the Emperor. Maybe I should just be committing. I guess not with the Overlord coming out. Yeah, they just have Supreme Verdict. Cool line. What's happening with the Naya energy combo? It's about talking about Safi and Bombardment and Rallier. The problem with Safi, Bombardment, Rallier is that it's a lot better to just like play a Johnny Bombardment than to add Safi and Rallier. Like a Johnny Bombardment is kind of like a 2-card combo that kills your opponent over the course of 2 turns instead of a 3-card combo that kills your opponent immediately. You know what I mean? It's kind of the issue. All right, we got spanked this game. Time to start using Decay. Yeah, I don't know. It does seem like potentially some more answers to Rest in Peace could be good moves in the sideboard. We could maybe be respecting Storm a little less and these kind of decks a little bit more. I might be doing that if I end up playing this deck in the challenge on Friday. I do think I'm just gonna do a little bit of a shorter stream today. After like doing the YouTube video, I get a little bit burned out.